Have you ever found yourself questioning whether the voice in your head is truly yours? What you may not realize is that, in some cases, that voice might not even belong to you. What if these intrusive thoughts are not just part of your own psyche, but rather a spiritual interference trying to destabilize your peace? If you are enjoying this content and want to continue learning more about how to spiritually protect yourself and develop your consciousness, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Together, we will explore more about this fascinating spiritual universe. This idea may seem controversial, but when we start to look at the power that our environment and the people around us have over our energy, it makes total sense. The good news? There are ways to defend yourself and elevate your vibration, creating a barrier against these influences. So, watch this video until the end because we will discuss how to identify these spiritual influences that may be holding back your life. Don't forget to stick around until the end. But before that, please give our video a like. It costs you nothing and helps us continue creating high-value spiritual content while also helping this video reach others, just as it reached you. The voice that echoes in your mind, that incessant murmur, is not your true self. It may primarily be your ego, a mental construct that tends to sow doubts, fears, and temptations. This internal dialogue often sabotages your decisions and clouds your vision of who you truly are. This ego, by its nature, makes you lose yourself in your own reflections and anxieties, distancing you from intuition and spiritual awakening. It's a defense mechanism that the mind employs, attempting to protect itself, but frequently, it ends up creating more obstacles. When you realize that this voice does not define who you are, you can take the first steps toward your true essence, your true self. In this process, understanding the difference between ego and intuition becomes essential. The key is to recognize that this voice is not yours and that you are much more than this incessant flow of thoughts. But how can you do this? That's what we'll discuss today. The difference between intuition and the ego is that intuition is not a thought. It is a feeling, a sensation that guides you to act in certain ways. Intuition is not an intrusive thought, as most people think it is. Therefore, this is the fundamental first step in learning to distinguish between the two. There are also moments when a persistent voice in your head may not be just your ego or even intuition, but the presence of a spirit influencing your thoughts. According to Spiritism, which is one of the strong foundations underlying the content of this channel, spirits can intervene in our minds, especially when we are more vulnerable, such as during moments of doubt or uncertainty. These spirits can bring messages, suggestions, or even create a sense of discomfort, distorting your perception of your true self. These spirits, usually of lower levels, take advantage of emotional gaps, charged environments, and negative thought patterns. This happens because they resonate with the energies you emit when you are in a low vibration, trapped in the ego, or disconnected from your higher consciousness. That's why the practice of conscious and developed mediumship can be so important for differentiating your intuition from spiritual interference. By recognizing this influence, you strengthen your ability to act from your own essence. Over time, you become more adept at distinguishing between what is yours and what comes from external influences. But today we will talk about some signs, so stay tuned. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications to stay in touch with elevated spiritual values and to receive more spiritual knowledge. Identifying spiritual influence in our thoughts may seem difficult at first, but there are clear signs. According to Spiritism, intrusive and sudden thoughts, especially those that seem out of character for you, can be an indication of spiritual influence. If you start questioning your actions or feel disturbed for no apparent reason, it may be time to consider that these impulses do not come from you, but from a spirit trying to interfere. These influences occur because some spirits seek to manipulate or feed off the emotional energies they themselves experienced while incarnated. Often, they find an opening for these manipulations in people who are emotionally unbalanced, trapped in the ego, or distanced from their true self. The key is to learn to recognize when these thoughts do not resonate with your consciousness and to notice when something feels off. One of the most evident signs of spiritual influence is the recurrence of destructive thoughts, accompanied by feelings of guilt or fear that seem to arise from nowhere. By the way, let us know in the comments if you've ever experienced this. Share your experience and whether you felt that the emotion was yours or not. We will personally respond to your comment. The practice of mental vigilance, as taught by spiritual masters, can help identify these intrusions. Conscious mediumship, discernment, and spiritual elevation through awakening can be great allies in this process. By developing this awareness, You become stronger in the face of these influences, protecting yourself from unwanted energies and reaffirming your connection to cosmic unity. Environments charged with negativity, conflict, or disharmony can attract spirits of low vibration. These spirits feed on denser emotions, such as anger, sadness, and fear, intensifying these feelings in the people present. Balanced and harmonious environments, on the other hand, tend to repel these influences. The company you keep also plays a crucial role. People who are trapped in destructive, selfish, or materialistic patterns create an atmosphere conducive to lower spirits to approach. Therefore, being aware of the energy of those around you and choosing your relationships wisely can be an act of spiritual protection. Protecting yourself from these influences requires more than just avoiding negative environments. It involves cultivating your consciousness and elevating your intuition. This can be achieved through practices that bring inner peace, such as meditation, prayer, and the pursuit of profound spiritual knowledge. Being in tune with higher vibrations helps keep these spirits at bay, allowing you to flourish spiritually, regardless of the external environment. To avoid the influence of lower spirits, the first line of defense is to elevate your personal vibration. This can be achieved through daily meditation, where you connect with higher consciousness and reinforce your bond with cosmic unity. The practice of sincere prayers is also effective, as it creates an energetic barrier that wards off negative spirits and strengthens your aura. To avoid this influence, it is necessary to maintain a constant state of mental vigilance, identifying intrusive thoughts before they gain strength. The practice of conscious mediumship can be useful here, as it allows you to recognize when external influence is trying to manipulate your mind and feelings. In addition, purification rituals for your environment, such as using incense, crystals, or even energy baths, are recommended methods for clearing the energies around you. Another powerful technique is aligning with spiritual guides or beings of light, who act as protectors and sources of wisdom to help you navigate these spiritual challenges. By strengthening your intuition and creating a conscious connection with these benevolent entities, you are better prepared to face any spiritual interference. Remember, spiritual defense is an ongoing and proactive practice, not a quick fix. If you are enjoying this content and want to continue learning more about how to spiritually protect yourself and develop your consciousness, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Together, we will explore more about this fascinating spiritual universe. See you in the next video. Peace profound.